Good evening and welcome to the draft reveal for the National Ball Hockey League's Women's Elite Tier. I'm NBHL Commissioner Anthony St. Rocco, and we're honored to have you join us for a historic first for the sport of ball hockey. This is our first year for the men's elite tier and second year for the women's. But before we get to the draft, we want to go over the format for our elite divisions. Each elite tier has 4 teams. The 4 men's teams are Apollo, the Comets, the Greyhounds, and the Mariners. The 4 women's teams are the Angels, the Novas, the Hyenas, and the 2024 reigning champs, the Orcas. Colleen Murphy will serve as our women's tier commissioner. Each team has a general manager that's responsible for drafting the team and managing day-to-day operations. Teams will play 8 regular season games plus playoffs across 2 weekends. The first weekend will be August 23rd and 24th in Edison, New Jersey at Inman Sports Complex, where the teams will play 5 games apiece. The second weekend will be November 1st and 2nd in Murraysville, Pennsylvania at Murraysville Sports Zone, where the teams will play 3 games Saturday and then single loss elimination playoffs on Sunday. All the games will be live streamed, but we are encouraging everybody to come out and watch these games. So if you're local to the rink, come on out. It'll be a great time. If you're watching this, that means the draft has already happened. The draft's a snake draft and the order was selected randomly. This show will be a live reveal of the first few rounds of the draft with analysis and commentary, with full roster reveals of all the teams to follow. Elite isn't just another division of the NBHL. It's trying to take this sport to a totally different level. This pro-style model was built to showcase the skill of the players and take ball hockey to a level we've never experienced before. We all want to grow this game, and we believe that we can do that with this pro-style format we have for Elite. But it takes everybody. So if you're not a player, pick a team, pick a player, and become a fan. Because every major sports league thrives off its fans, and ball hockey should be no different. So let's take this sport to the next level. To the players and GMs, thank you for trusting our vision and being a part of this. To everyone watching at home, we appreciate you following along. And with that, we're going to kick it to our team of analysts for the first ever Women's Elite Draft Reveal.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the 2025 Women's Elite Live Draft. I'm your host, Declan Moffatt. Pleased to be joined once again by Timmy Ryan. And tonight we have a new co-host with us, Mikayla Walsh. Mikayla, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, everyone. My name is Mikayla Walsh. I've recently played in the Mass division of the Women's NBHL, and I'm currently officiating in that division as well. Pleased to be here.
Awesome. Hey, guys. Yep, great to have you here. And Timmy, why don't you reintroduce yourself to those who didn't watch last night?
Hey, guys. I'm Tim Ryan. I play in New Jersey Tier 1 for the Malta Dogs, and I am Chelsea Monahan's boyfriend.
Awesome. Glad to have you back, Tim. So tonight we're going to be debuting the Women's Elite Draft. We'll be going through the first 8 picks of the draft, and then we'll be revealing the full rosters. But to begin with, we're going to talk about the first overall pick owned by the Hyenas, who are led by GM Ben Berger, treasurer for USA Ball Hockey, captain of the Backstrom Boys and Co-Ed C, captain of the DC Corruption. This guy is just super dialed in with everything ball hockey, and he has a lot of knowledge on the females playing in this league. He's going to be joined by his assistant coach, Matt Fair, video extraordinaire for the USA Women last summer in Switzerland. And one interesting note to point out here is that the GMs are also going to be coaching in the Women's Elite. So that'll add an extra little wrinkle for the teams here. And yeah, Hyenas are the first pick up. What are you guys looking for their first overall pick in the draft?
I had Becky Dobson going for my first pick. There's a lot of really good, talented players in here, so you never know what's going to happen, Declan.
Absolutely. I also had Becky Dobson going as their first pick overall. I think she's a solid power forward, and it would be a great asset for any of these teams.
100%. So we'll see if your guys' mock drafts are going to be confirmed, or if we have another one like last night where I'm the only one that's correct. So the Hyenas pick is now in, and let's throw it over to Women's Elite Commissioner Colleen Murphy for the announcement.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to the Women's Elite Live Draft Reveal. Before I announce the first pick, I just want to say thank you to all the players, the GMs, and the NBHL. Without you, this season of Elite wouldn't be possible. We are very excited for this season of Women's Elite, and we fully expect it to be even more competitive than ever imaginable. With that being said, the first pick of the 2025 Women's NBHL Elite Draft, the Hyenas select from Team USA, Becky Dobson.
And there it is, folks. Becky Dobson, as Timmy and Mikayla predicted correctly. Becky Dobson, power forward, insane shot. Some people call her the human muscle, and she is super hard to push off the ball. As you can see, she just runs over players constantly, not only in the women's divisions, but also in the men's division, Tier 2 in Philly, playing with Philly Code Red, the 2024 Philadelphia champions. Becky, an amazing player. Guys, what do you have to say about her?
Yeah, Declan, I actually play co-ed A with Becky, and if I wasn't on the same team as her, I would not be playing at all. Power forward, you do not want to mess with her in the corners. It's a great pick.
100%. Mikayla?
I absolutely agree. Playing against her numerous times within the women's A divisions at multiple tournaments. She's tough to play against, which makes it that much more fun to play against her. Definitely super strong on the ball and very tough competitor.
Absolutely. And she even sniped me at the Co-Ed A North Americans just a few months ago. So incredible pick for Ben Berger and his squad there. Awesome first overall pick, as you guys predicted. That was almost a consensus across the board. So Hyenas are off the clock with taking Becky Dobson. And now we have the Orcas on the clock, who are led by GM Paul Paradine and joined by Jason Kelly. Now, these two guys are super knowledgeable. Paul Paradine, if you don't know him, you pretty much can see him in any finalist or championship picture on the Cool Hockey Events page. Wealth of experience in the ball hockey world, playing at the international stage and the North American stage. What do you guys have to say about the Orcas staff here?
Paul Paradine and Jason Kelly, that's a great combo. Paul travels to every single tournament. I don't know how he does it, and he still has a job. He's just everywhere. And then Jason Kelly's just a great guy. He runs cool hockey events. He knows hockey very good.
Absolutely. Mikayla?
I agree with you both. Wealth of knowledge throughout them both and lots of experience both internationally and domestically between them two.
Yep, for sure. Jason Kelly, an assistant GM for the women's gold medalist team last summer in Switzerland. So the Orcas pick is in, and we'll throw it over to Colleen Murphy for the announcement.
With the second overall pick in the 2025 Women's NBHL Elite Draft, the Orcas select me, Colleen Murphy.
Ooh. Only kidding. Colleen Murphy, unbelievable talent in both the NBHL and at the international stage, scored her first ever Team USA goal in Switzerland last summer, and it was an absolute snipe against Canada in a huge semifinal win. Also notably had numerous attempts in a shootout at the NBHL championship last year and only scored on one of them, I believe. But Colleen, known for her leadership, known for her speed, and known for her physicality. Excellent pick here for the Orcas.
Yeah, and Colleen can play forward. She can play D. She's high hockey IQ player. And it looks like she went before her sister, Catherine. So she has bragging rights on that one.
I think it's a great overall pick for the Orcas. Great leadership, like you guys are saying, as well as the resume that Colleen has is one for the books, to say the very least.
Absolutely. There's not enough good things to say about Colleen there. So excellent pick by the Orcas. And now we move on to the Novas, who are led by a couple more Team USA legends, Angelo Terrena and Jake Denny. Both of them were part of the staff for the women's team last year that won a gold medal in Switzerland. What do you guys have to say about this group of leadership for the Novas?
Yeah, Angelo and Jake are just very dedicated to the game, and I'm sure they're going to put the right pick in.
Yeah, they had a fantastic run with the women's national team last summer. And I think that helped them and their chemistry as team leaders. progress quite nicely. And I do believe that will be an absolute asset for them in picking the rest of this team.
Yeah, for sure. You always see Jake and Angelo hand in hand at cool hockey events, scouting their players, especially just a few weeks ago, getting ready for the next World Ball Hockey Championship in Czechia next summer. So the Nova's pick is in, and let's throw it on over to the commish for the announcement.
With the 3rd overall pick in the 2025 Women's NBHL Elite Draft, the Novas select Team USA, Emma Seitz.
Emma, the Sniper Seitz. She was incredible at the World Ball Hockey Championships last summer, scoring the game-winning goal in a 3-0 victory against Czech, and just was absolutely unbelievable the entire tournament. I believe she led the entire tournament in goal scoring, but overall, insane player, playing professional ice hockey in Sweden right now with Modo, so that just tells you how good of a player she is. And as you can see here, she just lit up every single team in Switzerland last summer, not only scoring goals, but also assisting on a lot as well. So incredible pick there by the Novas. And what do you guys have to say about this superstar?
Yeah, not only is she nasty at ball hockey, she's nasty at ice hockey. Her hands are filthy, and she knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. So I'm excited to watch her play in the elite tournament.
100%.
I haven't seen her play very much outside of last year's tournament, so I'm also quite excited to see what she does in the NBHL Elite division.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to have a new face in North America for the Elite. And yeah, as I said before, Emma Seitz lighting it up in Switzerland at the biggest stage in ball hockey right now. So you can expect a lot of the same from her in the Elite season this year. So now we move on to the Angels, who are led by Lisa Kilroy and Mitch Stiles. What do you guys have to say about Lisa and Mitch?
Nothing good to say about Mitch Stiles, but Lisa, she knows the game. She's a high-skilled player, so I have faith in her.
I don't know Mitch as well as a lot of people do. I have seen him in his participation with some fantastic teams at certain cool hockey events that I've attended. Lisa, I can't say enough great things about her. She's been a mentor of mine and a friend of mine for a long time. So I'm excited to see what they do together.
100%. So the Angels pick is in, and let's throw it back to Colleen Murphy for the announcement.
The 4th pick in the 2025 Women's Elite NBHL Draft, the Angels select from Team USA, Ali Vakos.
There it is, folks. Ali Vakos going 4th overall. Again, another stud for the USA women's team last summer, scoring the final goal in the gold medal game, as I said before, in a 3-0 win. Ali Vakos, I would kind of compare her to a Brad Marchand. She has a great personality, gritty forward, and she's just all over the rink. Great personality, as I said. Unreal player. What do you guys have to say about Ali?
You said Brad Marchand has a great personality. I do not agree with that, but Allie's a really good player. I believe she's like newer to the ball hockey scene, but she's very skilled and a great pick.
Absolutely. Once again, another top competitor that will do very well in this league. Tends to find the net way too often when I'm playing defense against her, but it happens.
For sure. She loves to muck in front of the net. And as you saw in one of those clips, she was right on the doorstep in that gold medal match and helped Team USA capture gold in Switzerland last summer. So now we wrap back around in the snake draft style, and the Angels are going to get another pick here. And their pick is in. So let's throw it back to Colleen Murphy for the 5th overall pick in our draft.
With the 5th pick in the 2025 Women's Elite NBHL Draft, the Angels select from Team USA, goalie Brooke Waleko.
Our first goalie off the board is Brooke Waleko, the wall. Brooke, unbelievable. I mean, there's not enough adjectives to describe this girl in net. Super steady, super calm, never shows a lot of emotion until she wins the game. And she was a stud, not only in the semifinal, not only in the gold medal match, but every time you watch her play, she's only allowing 1 or 2 goals every game. And I think that the Angels will really be able to rely on her in net for their squad. So what do you guys have to say about Brooke Waleko?
Yeah, Brooke's a really good person on and off the rink, and she's just a brick wall. One of the best women's goalies I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly, she's fantastic. I see her play in the women's tier within Massachusetts, and it's exciting to get to see her play as often as I do. She really is a brick wall, and it's fun to watch her play. She's a fantastic person too.
100%. So, Mikayla, you spoke a little bit about how you get to watch her play every week, and I talked a little bit about her calm demeanor in net. Why do you think that helps her so much?
I think it helps mainly because she's having fun. She's having fun, and she's able to do what she loves while having fun doing it, and is yeah,
she's just a brick wall. She's so good.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, as a goaltender myself, it's important to have fun. You know, you can let those 1 or 2 goals in and let yourself down, get down in the dumps, but it never seems like Brooke Waleko hangs her head. She's always positive and always ready for the next shot. So as we move right along, the Novas are up next with pick number 6, and their pick is officially in. Let's throw it over to the commissioner for the announcement.
With the 6th overall pick in the 2025 Women's Elite NBHL Draft, the Novas select Team USA defenseman Karen Levin.
Karen Levin, our first true defender off the board. We'll talk a little bit about the defense later, but she's a stay-at-home player. She can obviously make plays, as you just saw there in the gold medal match, but Karen just always steady. Another great leader off the board here in the first round. So unreal pick there. And yeah, I love this pick. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Declan, like last night when John Petito got picked and Stephen Gregory, 2 vet players. Karen is the same for the women's side, vet player, played on so many USA teams. So she brings a lot of that to the table with dealing with any younger people on the team, and it's a great pick.
Absolutely. And like you said, just absolute leader. Lots of knowledge, and is able to take that and turn what she has and all the experience that she has and just kind of make that work for her. No matter the circumstances, she always keeps that sort of level head and really plays that fantastic at home D.
Yeah, 100%. And just speaking a little bit more about her leadership, I mean, reading off her notes here, 5-time women's national team, gold medal, 2 silver medals. She had a game-winning goal against Canada in the Masters tournament in 2022. She assisted on the game-winning goal in the gold medal match last year. So yeah, just not enough good things to say about her. I mean, the leadership is obvious, and her playmaking ability is also unmatched. So excellent pick there for the Novas. And next up, we are going back to the Orcas with pick number 7. And their pick is in. So Colleen Murphy, take it away.
With the 7th overall pick in the 2025 Women's NBHL Elite Draft, the Orcas select from Team USA forward Haley Frade.
Haley Frade, a name that some people that are new in the ball hockey world might not recognize, recently got back into the scene after having a child, and she's ready to go in the Women's Elite division. 2-time women's national team. In 2017, she won a silver medal. She's repping the Golden Girls in Women's A. Other accolades of hers include pro ice hockey with the Metropolitan Riveters, and she also played collegiate ice hockey at Providence. So quite the resume there for Haley Frade. What do you guys have to say about her?
Yeah, Haley's a very good player. Super smart with the ball, works hard. Yeah, just overall good things about her.
For sure.
Definitely playing against her, you always know when she's on the rink. She's a fantastic competitor and someone that is always fun to play against in the Women A division.
Yeah, for sure. And we talked a little bit about Mike Malloy having a child recently. Do you think that that'll affect Haley Frade at all, Timmy?
No, and it's funny. I would compare Malloy, how good he is in his hockey IQ and hard worker, and I would compare him and to Haley Frade as the women version of the Malloy and vice versa.
Interesting comparison. Yeah. So we'll see if she can live up to the hype. But now we move to the final pick of our live draft, and then we're going to reveal the rosters. But first, we announce the Hyenas' final pick here, and their pick is in. So Colleen Murphy will give you the announcement.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 Women's NBHL Elite Draft, the Hyenas select Team USA goalie Maxie Weiss.
And there she goes, our second goalie off the board in the first 2 rounds. Maxie Weiss, repping the Savage Ogo Pogos in Maryland Tier 3, who won the championship in 2023 and 2024. She won a gold medalist with the women's team last year. She's also repping DMV in Women's A, but more importantly, the DC Corruption in Novice. So what do you guys have to say about this stud goaltender for Ben Berger's squad?
Great pickup. She doesn't really talk much, but she just goes to the rink and gets the job done, and that's what you need out of a goalie. So it's a great pickup for them.
100%.
Absolutely. Another fantastic goalie, another tough goalie to play against as a player. Someone who you always see and you see these saves that she makes, and it's just like, wow. It blows your mind sometimes.
Every single game she makes a save that, like, you just put your hands on your head and you're like, how did she just do that? But yeah, Maxie Weiss, no surprise here that Ben Berger took one of his good friends in net. A little bit of familiarity to have back there makes the team, I think, a little bit more confident. So Maxie Weiss, great pick in net. And she's playing defense in the Maryland women's division. So you never know. You might see her playing out in Women's Elite. We'll have to wait and see for that. But that concludes our first 2 rounds of picks here. And we're going to reveal the full roster shortly. But first, we're going to take a quick break, play a couple commercials, and then we'll be right back. So stay tuned.
From the beginning of time, men and women have been friends, family, but yet rivals as well. Some of the most epic battles have been fought from the North to the South Pole and anywhere in between. As time flies, battles have transformed themselves into sports. Yet, the fundamentals remain the same, with lighter shields and a different type of sword. But evolution is clever. It introduces new rules but keeps one thing intact: adrenaline. So it's with honor and pride that we present to the world all of the above into one sport. Hockey ball, the game born in the North that can be played from the mountains to the ocean, and from America to Europe, all the way to the land of the rising sun. Napper. Anyone, anywhere.
Tune in to the Commish Chat podcast, your go-to source for weekly league breakdowns, current events, and behind-the-scenes stories from the world of ball hockey and the NBHL. Whether you're a player, a fan, or just discovering the game, we've got you covered. We break down top matchups, highlight standout performances, and dive into everything happening on and off the rink, from highlight reel goals to major league updates and everything in between. New episodes drop regularly, and you can catch every one on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Commish Chat, an NBHL podcast.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink garage beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage beer, beer-flavored beer.
All right, folks, and we're back from our commercial break. Thank you for staying tuned in to the Women's Elite Draft, as we still have a lot to reveal here, all of the rosters, and just like first initial thoughts from that first round, guys. What do you think of the first 2 picks for each team?
Yeah, great picks. There's so much talent in this elite division, so you never know what's going to happen with the full rosters, but I'm really excited to find out.
I think each team made 2 very solid picks going through the first 2 rounds, and I'm excited to see what the rest of these teams look like.
Absolutely. So just want to get your initial thoughts on the fact that we had 2 goalies picked in the first round. I believe we only had 1 last night, but what do you think that says about how important these players are in the women's elite division?
Go ahead, Mikayla.
I think that throughout women's ball hockey, you have a lot of fantastic goalkeepers, and that you really want to build your team out. A lot of women's teams are built out from their goalkeepers. So, thinking as a women's player, I always play defense first. Maybe that's because I'm a defenseman, but I feel like that's sort of how some of these teams are being built out, which isn't a bad thing. And it just makes for even more competitive advantage at some point.
100%. Tim, anything to add to that?
No, I don't. I just want to see the full rosters at this point. I mean, it's exciting. The top 8 is just unreal, and I know there's multiple other players that aren't in the top 8, and I'm excited to see the full rosters. So,
100%. So let's reveal our first full roster, and that is going to be the Angels. And here we go with the Angels, led by Lisa Kilroy. Any names that stand out to you guys that didn't get picked in the first 2 rounds?
it's a good roster, good amount of USA players. I'm not too familiar with that Monahan girl, Chelsea Monahan. I've never heard of her, but yeah, a lot of good players on this team.
I think they have a lot of veteran players, a lot of depth on this team, and that will work really well in their favor.
Absolutely. I'm liking their goaltending tandem. You got Brooke Wieleko, the veteran for the USA women's team, and you have an up-and-coming superstar in Addie Preninger. So I think it'll be good for Preninger to get a little bit of mentorship from Wieleko. But yeah, I'm not sure who this Chelsea Monahan girl is. We'll have to see if we can find any, videos or highlights of her. So we'll take a look back at that one later. But in terms of some other players that stand out to me, I mean, Sarah Houston, she could have been a first-round pick very easily. Another one, Shannon Taylor, not only a stud in ball hockey, but also field hockey as well. And you see a lot of women come over from field hockey to ball hockey, and it seems like most of them make a pretty solid transition. So we'll see how she does on this team. One other name that I wanted to point out is Maddie Evangelos. I had a great interview with her in Switzerland last summer. She is, I don't even know how to describe her, a bulldog, I guess would be a good way to talk about it. Super fast, not the most, she's a little bit undersized, but in terms of her size, she makes up for it with her, will, speed, physicality. So I love that pick for the Angels there.
Yeah, I saw Evangelist. I know she can dance. I saw a couple videos after the gold medal game of them celebrating in the locker room. So I know she's a good dancer. So
could be bringing some good vibes to the Angels. That's very important in these elite tournaments. So that's the full roster there for the Angels. And next up, we're going to reveal the Hyenas. And there's the Hyenas full roster, led by media general manager. I don't even know why they have this on his resume. He doesn't do anything with media, but Ben Berger, the GM of this team, putting together a pretty solid roster. Obviously, Dobson with the first overall pick and Weiss at the very end. But some names that stick out to me: Whitney Nichols, the face of Les Rage in Women's A. Another one is Sophia Augustinelli, big defender for the USA women's team last year. Super physical, super imposing. I mean, I would be scared to play against her in co-ed. So, yeah, looking good there for the Hyenas. What do you guys have to say about this roster?
Yeah, I see Pam Bilger's name on there. She's a vet just like Karen Levin, played multiple years of USA women's hockey. So that'll definitely bring a lot of poise to the team.
100%. Mikayla, what stands out to you for this roster?
There's a lot of depth and a lot of experience internationally on this roster, whether it's on the national team or I do see a number of Masters players as well. So I believe that could definitely help them.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking with Ben Berger before the draft tonight, I mean, he said he was looking for depth. He said he's looking for experience. So seems like he executed on both of those with his picks. Some other names that stand out to me, Jada Mears, super good player. I feel like she's a little bit underrated. Kind of hard to miss her with the red bucket in Pittsburgh, but she has great hands, always scoring unbelievable goals, both in the NBHL and cool hockey events. So great pickup there. And another one, Haley Runals, the U20 Canadian women's coach this summer that she'll be in Europe for, and also a very solid player herself. So I think those are two kind of sleeper picks for Ben Berger's squad. And yeah, they're looking good so far. So moving right along, we're going to now reveal the Novas roster. And there you have it, the Novas, led by GM Angelo Terrena. Pretty solid roster from my end. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I see a lot of good names on there. You said Angelo is the GM of this team, right? He's
Yes.
super smart. He obviously is the general manager of the U.S. women's team, so he knows what he's doing, and I'm really excited to watch this team play.
I see a lot of names on here that definitely younger, but are up and coming as well. You got Abby Rush out of Pittsburgh, who small in stature, but can put the ball where she needs to, can hit shots that most people will miss 10 times out of 10. Then you got some other names on here. Emma Seitz, we know, went in the first round, fantastic shooter. And then you got Victoria Biaghetti, also out of Pittsburgh, fantastic two-way player, will do great things for this team.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big shout out to Victoria Biaghetti. Looks like she's playing center for this squad. She's listed as a center here. I don't know if that's a mistype or if she chose to play that position for this team, but she was obviously a standout for the women's team last summer as a defender. But looks like they're going to be relying on her for some offense on this squad. And in terms of some other names for me, Shelby Gennard, goaltender for the women's team last summer in Switzerland, also great backstop here for the Novas. So I'm liking that pickup. Jasmine Martinez, another great player, little bit of a grinder, I would say, and I'm sure that she learned that from Jason Kelly. So yeah, loving the picks here from the Novas. Anything else to add, or should we move on to the next roster?
I think we can move on.
All right, and finally, we're going to reveal the Orcas. And there you have it, our final full roster reveal. The Orcas, led by GM Paul Paradine. Looking like another solid roster here. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I see the Murphy sisters are on the same team, so that's pretty good. Overall, really good roster. Yeah.
I
Do you think that'll add
the
any sort of, headbutting, or do you think that the Murphy sisters will be able to get along on this squad?
I believe they'll get along, but we all know Catherine Murphy's going to end up being the better player because she's the better sister. I don't know how Colleen got drafted higher in the draft. I think because she's the GM, she might have rigged it, so she got picked so high. So we'll find out.
100%. Mikayla?
Definitely a standout from last season, Heidi Niskanen, who scored the double overtime winner in the finals last year. So that's a great pickup yet again for this solid Orcas squad.
100%. Yeah, looks like Paul Paradine knew what he was doing. Some other names that stand out to me, Amanda Gavlik sometimes likes to yell at me when I'm reffing the Pittsburgh women's division, but that's okay. She's a fiery competitor. I can appreciate that. So I love that pickup there. Another one, and this is big, Cherise Stewart, one of the heaviest shots in the women's ball hockey scene. If you stand in front of her shot, I mean, Mikayla, have you ever blocked a Cherise Stewart slapper?
Unfortunately, I have. Yes. Was
Yeah,
not fun. Do not recommend doing it again.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So that's a huge pickup, in my opinion, for the Orcas there, as Cherise Stewart loves to rip that ball. I believe she scored the game-winning goal at the Women's North Americans A final against the Cobra Chickens. And somebody that she faced in that championship, Emily Jude, for the Cobra Chickens, great player from Canada. Looking forward to seeing her play in the Women's Elite Division. And finally, one of my favorite players to watch, Erica Simpson, unbelievable player. Put the U20 girls to sleep at the North Americans. She has some great sellies. She's an incredible ref. Mikayla, do you ever ref with her?
Very much, very often. Love Erica, another mentor of mine, and one of my best friends. Yes. I've had the pleasure of sharing the rink with her, both as a teammate, as opposing coaches for youth teams that we've both coached, and as officials together.
100%. Timmy, anything to add from this roster?
I was just going to warn the other teams, just be careful around Erica. Don't go near her goalie or she'll take care of you.
100%. Yeah. And speaking of goalies, I feel like the Orcas might have one of the best tandems here. Keely Procu and Kirsten DeCiccio. Hopefully I said that correctly. Kirsten obviously a standout in the mass women's division, but Keely Procu, the big name here, Canadian goaltender, both at the World Championship stage and Masters stage. Unbelievable talent. Not the biggest goaltender, but she always gets her body in the way somehow. I don't know how she does it. She had so many unbelievable saves in a 2-0 shutout over the USA women's team last summer, and looking forward to watching her debut in the Elite this summer. So that concludes our Orcas roster reveal, and that concludes our full roster reveals for every single team. So, guys, final thoughts. You have a favorite team? Who do you think built the best roster?
Like I said last night for the men's, this much talent, I just can't pick a team. I'm just super excited to watch the tournament, and it's going to be very exciting.
I absolutely agree. There's, like Tim said, there's so much talent spread out throughout all four of these teams that it's tough to pick one that you think will go all the way, because even when you think there's that one, there's always somebody that's going to surprise you. And that's what's one of the best parts about women's hockey, is you can never count anybody out, nor should you, especially with the rosters that we have built today.
Absolutely. I'm going to take a different avenue and say the Orcas. I mean, having the Murphy sisters, having an insane goalie tandem, I feel like the Orcas are the clear early favorite. But as you guys both said, I mean, it's too early to tell. You got to watch them play the games, and you have to see how the players bond with each other. Like, that is such a key part of ball hockey and sports in general. You know, everybody has to get along. Everybody has to be a good teammate to each other. So I'll say Orcas for now, but obviously, that's why we play the games, to decide who the real champion is. So that'll conclude our live draft for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the NBHL YouTube, as we're going to be debuting the men's and women's elite in August. So be sure to be on the lookout for that as we continue to promote that on our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. More highlights, more content to come from the elite division. So thank you so much for tuning in, and looking forward to the debut of the men's and women's elite in August.
Thank you, Declan.
Thank you, Declan.